welcome to the next episode of the Drive Home podcast. The podcast where I'm the only one who actually needs to buckle up. And I haven't said this in a while, but just in case you guys forget, this is the podcast where I drive home and I talk. And that's the entire podcast. I just talk about random stuff, and you guys choose to listen or not. In which case, how are you hearing this though? Either way, so thank you guys for being patient. I made the time correction, I guess, if you want to call it that, video earlier today before I actually got into work, and right now it's 2. I had a really short shift today. 2 in the afternoon, not 2 in the morning. That would be terrifying. So, I mean, terrifying in just the fact that it's 2 in the morning, I guess. Anyway, hope you guys can understand that you guys won't be hearing this until, like, I guess a week later. I'm just ironing out some stuff right now because you know, I'm leveling up, okay? I'm getting better slowly, but you know, as I can't do too much right now, I'm doing what I can to make it better for everyone. So if I iron out the issues now, later down the line we can all have a good laugh about it. Mainly you guys, because you realize how dumb I was. Anyway, it is a hot one today, at least for me. So if my AC is a bit loud, it's not on max, or I guess, like, you know, like the car AC, because this is the podcast where I drive. I know they've done similar things, I think. Because what there was the thing that I think it was Jerry Seinfeld did, the comedians in cars getting coffee or something, and that I think I watched like a short snippet of a couple of those, and those seemed like it sort of seemed like a podcast. It's just hard to tell a lot because I don't know, when I imagine podcasts, I don't imagine like watching the people, I guess, so I imagine like seeing the microphones. I don't know. I don't remember too well, but I think I mentioned, so I started up my car before I started this episode because it was a hot one, and I wanted to get some colder air in my car so I could breathe and talk without having to have it on max blast or having to have my windows all the way down, because without a microphone, you're just hearing me through my phone, and that will pick up other stuff very easily. So, and you know, I'm working on it. It's just I have one of the, I think it's I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, all the suffixes or whatever. And I'm fairly certain for iPhone users out there who use more newer iPhones, you know that they ditched the headphone jack port or whatever you call it, and they made it so that it was an additional add-on. And the only problem with that is that, for one, so there's 2 problems. One, I don't own that add-on thing, and I don't want to buy it. And the main reason is reason number 2, which is my charging port never wants to charge, so I'm fairly certain I will never be able to listen to music cohesively like that. Oh, well, I guess there's a third reason. The third reason being that I don't have a wired headset. The last one I had, I gave to my brother because I didn't think I'd need it, because I had earbuds, and I have earbuds for my phone, and then I have wireless headphones for all my consoles and stuff. So I didn't need them, and like I don't necessarily need them, and they're really old anyway. I could just get a new pair. I really like the brand that they were, though. I ended up getting an upgraded version of the brand, and I'll kind of recommend these. They're Astro headphones. They have this weird like naming system where it's like Astro A, and then they have a number that's a multiple of 10. So the headset that I gave to my brother was an Astro A10 that was actually stylized after Breath of the Wild, and I got it for my Switch a couple years ago, and it just happened to work for it, because it's just a headphone. It's just a set of headphones. It just happens to look like, it just happens to be stylized after Twilight, I was gonna say Twilight Princess, but that's my favorite Zelda game. No, Breath of the Wild, which is everyone else's favorite Zelda game. Well, just relatively speaking. I know not everyone has it as their favorite, but I have a feeling in 20 years' time, there'll be a lot more people saying, oh, my favorite Zelda was Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or whatever. It'll be like some combination of that, because there's two sides to that. There's Breath of the Wild is like a magical first experience, and then Tears of the Kingdom is more Breath of the Wild, and it's like better Breath of the Wild, but it doesn't capture the magic of being Breath of the Wild because it's not the first. And I get that, but I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom just seems a lot better. Like, don't get me wrong, I love both games. They're both really great. But you can make your house in Tears of the Kingdom. You can make your own house. Wait. I'd have to try that. I have to switch to a different account. I was just thinking, maybe I could just look this up, but I was thinking, can you experiment with like making your house? Like, can you make your house so that your door is facing upwards or something? Like, can you make it so that the only way to get in and out of your house is oh, actually that could work, and that would be really good. It would save room space, I guess. So like, in theory, you could build most of your building or house or whatever sidewards, or you can make it like a weird like tower, the sidewards tower thing, right? So like everything is on its side, and that looks weird, but like in theory you should be able to just ascend into the house instead of opening the front door or whatever, right? And that will save you at least one room, and depending on how your house is, because like with my house, I'm getting sidetracked. Long story short, the headset is an Astro A10 styled after Breath of the Wild, and it was really good, and it still functions relatively fine. You'd eventually have to get the cord replaced, but other than that, it's a fantastic headset. Completely recommend it. I think it's like $70 or 60 or something, somewhere around there. So it's like slightly more expensive, but it's definitely worth it in the long run because it comes with a mic, and the cord is detachable. So in theory, if you had like a wireless adapter or something, you might be able to use that, but I don't know how that really works. But you could switch out the cords and get a new one, because that's where a lot of the issues came up with that headset. Is the cord that originally came with it didn't last the test of time. I mean, it lasted long enough. It lasted to the point where it's like you have to fiddle with it to get it to work, but it'll work fine. But you're gonna have to be fiddling with it once every like hour. if you're not like careful to not mess with the wrong thing or whatever. But it worked great. You know, as long as you take care of it. And I think I was like really rough on that headset, honestly. I think I might have slept with it on once or twice, which was stupid of me in retrospect. And then anyway, the Bluetooth headset I have right now is Astro A50s or whatever. So the one I got, it's supposed to be for the Xbox, but I would say it's for the Xbox One and not the new Xboxes, specifically for this reason. So, for one, well, this next reason that I'll get to in a little bit. So, the main thing that I got kind of confused with is like it's a wireless headset, which I've never really had one that required a base to function. But you can also use it with your laptop, or computer, so just bear with me. It's relatively simple. There's a switch which dictates which setting it's for. You can either have it set up for Xbox or PC, and I think Xbox is just consoles in general, and PC is, well, computer, because you have a lot more control with your computer and your audio. Either that or a computer can be used for like anything except for Xbox. Though I'm not sure, don't really quote me on that. I don't fiddle with the settings too often. The thing is, the headset itself doesn't have great audio quality, but it has an extra cord that you can plug into an Xbox One and probably a computer as well that has Dolby Atmos. And Dolby Atmos is like an audio type or something. It's hard to explain. It's like, I guess, I use Apple Music, and it has like an audio type called like lossless or something. And that is like a specific audio type. It's hard to explain. I guess it's like stereo and mono or whatever, because like those are like audio types. This is sort of in the same group as that. And the only way to do it is to plug in this extra thing to either your console or your computer, because I don't think most laptops wouldn't have that plug-in. At least mine doesn't. Anyway, the issue with that is that the Series X does not have that plug-in. So, for me to play my Series X, which I don't know why the Series X seems like a downgraded version, just happens to have better graphics and faster speeds, but like overall is a worse version than the Xbox One. Because it has a lot less features. So one, some of you might have noticed this, but the Series X and probably S, though I don't have one of those, they lack, I think it's called OneDrive or something. It's like it's like a second HDMI plugin, but in reverse. So you can plug something else, like another console or something else like that, into your Xbox. There's a second HDMI port, and if you use this app that's installed at base on your Xbox, you will be able to view it as if you were viewing that. So it essentially saves you a slot on your HDMI plugins if you have an Xbox One, because you can plug that extra So what I usually do with it is, because audio is weird and it works like that, what I normally do is I will plug in my Series X into my Xbox One, so the video and the audio will go through to the Xbox One and be converted into the Bluetooth, or I can use my Bluetooth headset on my Xbox One and get the Dolby Atmos quality audio, and then I can play with the Dolby Atmos quality audio on my Series X that way. And you can do that with anything that has an HDMI port. So, you know, it's mostly, I would say it's mostly just for other consoles, or possibly like a VCR. No, that's too old. That would use one of the 3 plugins that like the Wii uses. I guess like a Blu-ray player, even though the Xbox already does that, you could use it for that, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. I thought it's a great feature, and they just don't include it on the Series X, which is really dumb. So, getting back to the Twilight, or the Tears of the Kingdom thing, a lot of what I'm saying is basically just, could you move your, like, and I'll have to test this, because this might be possible with my current house, but my current house is essentially a rectangle. Because I don't think you can open doors with angles, which is fine, that's expected, honestly. But if you could, like, I'm fairly certain you can ascend through your house. So if you can ascend through your house, you could make it. I mean, for one, you could like save on a room space or something. Because like I'm very I don't know what you'd call it, efficient with my space as much as I can be. Anyway. So like I think I have 2 of the 2x2 like room, like middle rooms that just like, and I have those one on top of the other, and then I have like on each floor so for one I have a staircase that's okay, well now I don't know how to phrase this. So if the first one was a 2x2x1, then it's a 2x1x2, I guess. Whereas the last one is the height factor. You know, it's a stair. It's a stairs block or whatever. If you played the game, you understand what I'm talking about. And then I'll have the 2x1 rooms that are like used for like, so I have one for cooking, I have one to pray to the statue, I have a bed, and then I think the rest of them are storages for shields, swords, and bows and stuff. And I don't know if I think I have like 2 sets of the melee weapons, and then I have 1 set for shields and 1 set for bows. I believe that's how it is. Oh, and I think I have I think it's called a study. It's like a 1x1x1 block room. I think it's literally just like a bookcase or something. I attached it to like my bed room. I don't know. I'm just thinking like long term, could I just like rotate that and make it weird and then just ascend into it? Because, like, you can climb on the wall and still place stuff in those slots, I'm fairly, or most of them anyway. The only issue would be, like, the cooking pot, I believe. I mean, I think it would be funny. I'm no Tears of the Kingdom scientist or anything. But I do find building all the contraptions in that game extremely fun. I wish there was some sort of way to make it easier to get those materials, to be able to make those funny vehicles and contraptions, but I'm not gonna say it's not fun to do it or just run around and grab all the stuff, because it's not super hard to find any of that stuff. Anyway, I just got home, and I'm gonna try and keep things prompt with that so I can get inside and go about the rest of my day. So, I hope you had a wonderful time listening to the Drive Home podcast. If we had merch, which we won't because it's just me, I'm the only one who does this. There's no one else currently. There is no editing. There is nothing. There is me and my phone. That is it. And my car, because I'm in my car. So that's all there is for now. If there was merch, I would link it somewhere. Sadly, there isn't. No, honestly, I don't know what I would have merch for. It's like epic maybe because the first episode had the fire drill drinking. Maybe that would be a shirt, fire drill drinking, and then just have like the stuff that I did drink on the shirt, like unbranded of course, but like have it on a shirt, and then just be like, haha, look, somebody who gets it will get it, and somebody who doesn't get it might think they get it, but they don't. I think that would be funny. Mostly because it's like a tiny amount of like pink Gatorade. And then just like the rest of the crap. I think that would be funny. And then either in one of the corners or on the back, it would just be like the drive home or something. Not even podcast, because that would tell you what it is. People would have to know that it's the Drive Home podcast. But it would just say the Drive Home on it, because that sounds cool. Anyway, I've been talking about merch ideas, apparently. That's hilarious. I never thought I would. But I hope I come back to this, because this is funny. So, I will talk to you guys next time I go to work. I actually have 2 days off in a row after this, so that would mean Friday. So I will talk to you guys in 3 days. Have a great next 24 hours. Bye-bye.